Good evening, I'm Ces Oreña-Drilon.
I'm Pauline Verzosa.
And I'm Shawn Yao.
The big stories tonight. Former President Rodrigo Duterte's legal team has chosen at least 3 nations as possible hosts for their client. That's if Digong is granted temporary freedom by the International Criminal Court. But according to reports, 2 countries have already said no thanks.
And more leads unfold by the day in the case of at least 34 disappeared cockfight enthusiasts or sabungeros. Now, authorities want to know if one witness's claim is true that police officers and even members of the judiciary were involved in the crime.
And as projected by the Energy Department, an oil price rollback is happening in a few days. However, contrary to expectations, the possible cut is not even half of adjustments implemented during this week's big-time fuel hike.
It is indirectly cooperating with the ICC, but the primary intention of the government is to help the victims and the witnesses to get the justice they need.
In a motion filed on June 12, Rodrigo Duterte's lawyers asked the International Criminal Court for their client's temporary release to an undisclosed country. They claim there's already a nation willing to host the former president. So far, 2 countries have reportedly rejected the bid to take Duterte in. Mobile journalist Kayla Macantan with tonight's big story.
The Australian government is not hosting former President Rodrigo Duterte should the International Criminal Court approve his request for interim release. News 5 sources confirmed this response, adding that Australia was not even considering to take in Digong, even temporarily. During a trip to Melbourne last week, Vice President Sara Duterte revealed that her father's lawyers were eyeing Australia as a possible host country. She also said she tried to sit down with Foreign Minister Penny Wong, but the meeting did not take place. Despite rejecting to host the former president, the Australian government says the matter is for the ICC to decide under the Rome Statute. Aside from Australia, Belgium has also declined to host Duterte. That's according to ICC Assistant Counsel Cristina Conti in a media forum today. ICC accredited lawyer Joel Botuyan said that Belgium could be a possible host to Duterte. That's because of its proximity to the Netherlands. The Hague is just an hour away from Brussels. Attorney Conti also said that to this day, no country has expressed willingness to accept Duterte. Meanwhile, Malacanang maintained that the Philippine government is not cooperating with the International Criminal Court. On Thursday, the Department of Justice admitted to providing assistance to witnesses in the tribunal's ongoing probe into the Duterte drug war. Communications Undersecretary Claire Castro clarified that the support given by the DOJ does not equate to formal cooperation with the ICC.
It can be said that it is indirectly cooperating with the ICC, but the primary intention of the government is to help the victims and the witnesses of the victims to get the justice they need.
Asked if the DOJ's move has President Marcos's blessing, Castro said the chief executive only wants justice for the victims of the previous administration's drug war. And despite this development, Castro reiterated that the Philippines rejoining the ICC is yet to be discussed with or by the president. Mobile journalist Kayla Macantan, we are One News.
Meanwhile, the Department of Justice says it is coordinating with the Supreme Court on the case of at least 34 cockfight enthusiasts who have gone missing. Why the High Tribunal? Well, according to Secretary Boying Remulla, that's because of information they received that the mastermind is the disappearance of the sabungeros funneled a lot of money to infiltrate the judiciary. The DOJ chief said the personality is so powerful and so loaded, he or she can influence anyone in the High Court.
Basta yung sinasabi ng mastermind, narinig ko yung kanyang in his own words, kaya natin yan, kahit Supreme Court daw, kaya niya. Sinasabi niya, kaya kakausapin natin ng Chief Justice tungkol dito. We will tell him na what are the things that are hindering our way through this. Kasi nga, ang bigat talaga na kalaban sa dami ng pera.
Furthermore, Secretary Remulla revealed information about a group connected to online cockfighting or e-sabong that the alleged mastermind belonged to. The said group supposedly worked on the kidnappings and killings of the missing sabungeros. Remulla also vouched for the credibility of one alias Totoy, who came forward with all these details. The Justice Secretary said Totoy likewise has vital pieces of evidence in his possession. But Remulla is leaving it up to the prosecution to assess if Totoy can turn state witness from being one of the suspects in the crime. It was also alias Totoy who claimed that the missing sabungeros have long been buried in Taal Lake in Batangas.
Credible enough. And sabi ko nga, hindi lang naman testimonya, meron siyang mga dokumento na, tsaka may video pa nga na hawak, na magpapatunay sa sinasabi niya.
Prior to this, the DOJ has already coordinated with the Philippine Coast Guard and the Armed Forces of the Philippines to conduct mapping around Taal Lake. Authorities are also exploring technical diving to help in the search for the disappeared sabungeros. However, the PCG and AFP's expertise and devices are not enough. For one, the depth of Taal Lake reaches up to 174 meters. The deepest government divers have reached so far is only around 100 meters. Now, in short, the state needs help.
Meron tayong nakukuha na within the government service sa DNR tsaka sa fragment, Navy fragment na willing to undertake the technical diving exercise. We are also contacting the Japanese government for assistance here. Pero meron naman tayo mga remote vehicle sa DNR na pwede rin gamitin. But the technical expertise and experience, yung kulang tayo.
Well, for its part, the National Police Commission is also launching an independent probe following reports that police officers were also involved in the case. Let's discuss this with Attorney Rafael Calinisan, Vice Chair and Executive Officer of NAPOLCOM. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the Big Story.
Yes, good evening, Ces, Shawn, and Pauline.
First of all, alias Totoy has not yet come forward to the NAPOLCOM, has he?
He has not, and I have not read his affidavit. I don't have a copy of his affidavit as of yet. And I would really love to get to speak to alias Totoy and have a copy of his affidavit.
So what have you done to begin this probe of yours?
So it's all over the news. I heard through multiple reports that allegedly there are policemen that are involved in the case of the missing sabungeros. So it is incumbent upon the National Police Commission. It is the body authorized by law, actually under the Constitution, which has administration and control over the Philippine National Police. So I ordered the motu proprio investigation of the missing sabungeros. I gave an instruction to our Inspection, Monitoring, Investigation Service to investigate this case and right away give me information and if need be file the appropriate cases against the appropriate policemen.
Would you know to what unit alias Totoy belongs to so that this is where, I guess, you can begin your probe?
There are already reports. I have received information as to the quote-unquote identities of certain policemen. But of course, I need to be circumspect because these are from creative sources. The best source of information is the complaint affidavit of alias Totoy. So until and unless I receive it, I cannot give you any confirmation. So my remedy is to conduct my own investigation since under the Constitution, it's the NAPOLCOM that has control and supervision over the PNP. If I may, says Shawn and Pauline, what is being focused on right now is the investigation on the criminal cases. People have forgotten about the administrative aspect of all of these. It is the fitness of the policeman to wear the uniform. And that is where the National Police Commission is focusing on. The NAPOLCOM must determine if our policemen involved in this case, allegedly, should still be wearing that uniform. Let us remember that that policeman is wearing a uniform, has a badge, and has a gun. So at the soonest possible time, we should determine his fitness. If he is innocent, then so be it. But if he is guilty, then disciplinary action must be made, and dismissal proceedings must be initiated right away.
Okay, so just to clarify, Attorney Kalinisan, wala pa sa office ng NAPOLCOM any sort of paperwork, evidence, or affidavits related to the missing sabungero. So ngayon pa lang magbumoto proprio investigation kayo, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Wala pa po ni isang pahina ng complaint affidavit of alias Totoy. So again, ang trabaho natin is to investigate, to get to the bottom of it. So that we will do. We will not shirk from that responsibility. We will do what is needed. And katsino pa yan, tuloy-tuloy lang po tayo, wala po tayong uurungan.
So yung sinasabi ninyong may idea kayo about some of the possibly involved police officers, you're getting this from different sources lang so far since pumutok itong storya?
Yes, that is true. But of course, again, I need to be responsible before I say any names, before I see any institutions. I need to first validate the information that has reached my office.
Well, Attorney Kalinisan, nauna na pong sinabi ni Justice Secretary na mabigat ang kalaban dito, hindi basta-basta. The mastermind possibly even holds influence over the judiciary. With that said, can we expect a fair and sound investigation from NAPOLCOM?
Dito po, hindi po kami na-impluensyahan. Dito po, wala po kami kinakatakutan. Ang atin po, lumabas lang ang katotohanan. So kahit sino pang backer niyan, wala kaming pakialam. We will just do our jobs, and we will do our jobs well. We will make those policemen, whoever they are, if they are guilty, accountable under the law. If needed, we will dismiss them.
Go ahead, Paul.
And Attorney, in this motu proprio investigation that you will be conducting, what timeline are you setting for yourself? Is it also 60 days?
As soon as possible. Kung kinakailangan earlier than 60 days, so be it. Pero like I've mentioned, and naglabas na kami ng memoranda on this matter. Ang plano namin is from the date of the complaint until the release of the decision is 60 days. Siyempre, may plus or minus yan, and it is very complex, this case that we have. No? But we will proceed wala kaming hindi natin sasantuhin. We will check on this case, and we will proceed as needed.
Are you coordinating with the DOJ on this matter? Or
yes, we have. We have sent feelers to the DOJ, but of course, I really need to speak with the DOJ Secretary himself. I have yet to do that quite candidly. But I have already spoken with the PNP chief. I have spoken with the CIDG chief. And yes, we are doing our groundwork right now as we speak.
PNP Chief Nicolas Torre, when he was the CIDG chief, was the one in charge of this case. And now that you've talked to him, do you have his assurance? No, kasi you already have an idea who the cops are. Would he know also, and is he willing to, like, I don't know, facilitate your investigation on them, attorney?
Let's just say that any and all pieces of evidence from all law enforcement agencies, we will accept. Lahat po ng pwedeng makatulong na ebidensya, game po. But of course, we will do our own. Naantay ho namin yung affidavit at yung complaint ni alias Totoy. Sana nga ako nanonood ho siya ngayon kasi sobrang importante po siya sa resolusyon ng kasong ito. Sana po pagbigyan ho tayo ni alias Totoy na mag-file po siya ng complaint dito sa National Police Commission. I know his filing of the complaint is independent of our motu proprio investigation, pero may talking head na tayo eh. Meron na tayong warm body informing us what the goings on are. So might as well, we really need him. Susi po siya dito.
Would you be able to assure his protection under the NAPOLCOM? Because kung takot po siya, posible sa PNP, posible ba? Do you guys have that mandate, that power, and that capacity to protect him?
I believe that he's talking with the DOJ right now. I believe that would be some witness protection concerns also. Of course, what we have under our disposal is also the Philippine National Police. But of course, if there is a request or kung kinakailangan na i-augment natin yung seguridad ni alias Totoy, that we will do.
Okay.
And attorney, well, you have built a reputation as a staunch advocate for accountability. In fact, when you joined NAPOLCOM, you said it was your aim to be the nemesis of abusive cops. I wanted to get your reaction when you heard about this alleged involvement of police officers in this horrific crime.
Totoo po, ako po'y nagalit. Sobra pong hindi po natutuwa kasi we've been for the past months that I was here, I'm here. Ang inaatupag ko po dito ay moral and welfare of our police force. Araw-araw po na ginawa ng Diyos, ang inaatupag po natin ay scholarships para sa kanila, medical nila, promotions nila. And yet, here we are. We received reports na they are involved in cases of the missing sabungeros. So nakakasama ng loob. Parang I feel betrayed. Kasi pamilya ko galing sa PNP, tatay ko galing sa police force. And yet here we are, certain police elements are allegedly involved. Nakakayurak ng imahe ng PNP. So the only way to do it is to cleanse the ranks of the PNP. At kung ako ang kinakailangan para linisin ng PNP, gagawin natin yan.
On another matter, attorney, the Tokhang, the involvement of police in Tokhang, while Justice Secretary Remulla said it has ceded the investigation to the ICC. No investigation has been done, am I correct, by the NAPOLCOM on these erring policemen?
Let me answer you this way. Before I entered the National Police Commission, I admit that there has been no investigation conducted on this. But this I say to you, and lest I not reveal my cards, we are doing our homework. And kung ano kinakailangan gagawin ho natin. And like you have mentioned, yung ating pong service reputation is very clean. At let it be known that we are doing our work on accountability.
Okay. If no case will prosper in the judiciary, perhaps in the NAPOLCOM, where you said there are administrative remedies, then it's incumbent upon your agency to do it.
Yes, we will not shirk from that responsibility. Tayo po ay may ginagawa na sa kasalukuyan. Hindi ko na lang po siguro may detalye ngayon, Ma'am Ces, Shawn, and Pauline, but we are not remiss on our responsibility. Meron po tayong sinumpaang tungkulin, and we are religiously doing it.
Okay. How tough will it be? Because sinabi na po ni Justice Secretary Remulla, nabura na mga records, walang police report. How will you reconstitute these documents, sir?
Una po, wala pong imposible. Wala pong imposible sa ating pamumuno ngayon. We will do what we need to do. And siguro secondly, we have to remember the barometer. The barometer for criminal cases is proof beyond reasonable doubt. But the barometer for administrative cases is substantial evidence. It is much lower than proof beyond reasonable doubt. So kung konti lang ang ebidensya na kinakailangan para umusad ng kaso dito, then again, so be it.
Okay.
Would
Attorney,
there
just to...
be,
Oh, go ahead.
sorry if I can
Yeah,
just
go
follow
ahead.
up, last na. Would there be police officers willing to be witnesses regarding Tokhang?
I have heard that there are policemen that are willing to be witnesses. Again, I don't want to reveal my cards right now, Ces, but as I have said, and I pledge this to the Filipino people, we are doing our homework.
Actually, follow up din dun sa first question ni Ces, yung itatanong ko sa'yo, attorney, no? Nung sinabi kasi ni DOJ Secretary na binura na yung evidence, it makes me wonder, binura ba siya or they didn't exist to begin with? Are you at least able to shed some light on that?
There are different types of evidence. Siyempre, may testimonial evidence, may object evidence. Sa Tagalog, may testimonya, may gamit, may bagay. So maybe there are object evidence that has been gone, but let us not forget there are testimonial evidence. Ebidensya pa rin po yan. Yung pong mga dokumento, ebidensya pa rin po yan. And I think it is existing.
And what is your assessment as to the sentiments prevailing over the police force? Kasi nung past administration, that was the modus. Meron pa silang, they followed a certain guide, di ba po? Ngayon iba na. Ano po ba ang thinking ng mga police ngayon?
Of course, again, our police is a professional organization. Naniniwala ako na maayos at mabuting ating kapulisan. So, kung paradigm shift, ang inert din naman, mabait at maayos ang pulis. So, kung merong mga ibang direksyon dati, then siguro history will decide kung ano ba talaga naging direksyon dati. But ngayon, as far as I can see, our policemen are okay. And if I may say, I actually salute the leadership of General Torre. He's professionalizing our police force right now. At naniniwala ako sa leadership niya. At he's also a reformist. Happy ako nung naupo siya. Dalawa na kaming reformists sa PNP. So I think we will go places with that tandem.
Are you planning to reform the internal affairs, not sure, bureaus, department of the PNP also, attorney? Would you have a hand in that if ever? Kasi dapat dumaan muna sa kanila yan, di ba? Bago muna bumagsak sa office ninyo.
That is not true. Actually, of course, we have a hand in the administration and control of the PNP. So any reforms or any revisions as to the manner by which the ES operates, we can give our suggestions because that is under the law. Pero the National Police Commission can handle cases directly. So the NAPOLCOM, under the Constitution, Article 16, Section 6, siya talaga ang pinaka-pulis ng pulis. Siya talaga ang bossing ng lahat ng pulis. So all the rest are other disciplinary authorities. If there are cases which are resolved by other entities, other disciplinary authorities, like say EAS, Chief PNP, mayors, regional directors, pleb, all of them can be appealed to the National Police Commission. But that does not preclude us from initiating summary dismissal proceedings as well. Gaya dito. We initiated our own motu proprio investigation. We did not wait for any case. We started our own. And by that, we're acquiring jurisdiction over this matter.
Well, going back to reforms, attorney, just recently there was a reshuffling of assignments among key officials in NAPOLCOM. Kasama na po dyan yung staff service chiefs, assistant staff service chiefs in the central office, pati na rin po ng regional directors, assistant regional directors among 18 of your regional offices. What was the rationale behind that, attorney, and what can we expect from this reassignment?
Una po sa lahat, bagong upo lang po ako. I'm just in my second month as the head of NAPOLCOM, as the vice chairman and executive officer. So I need some latitude by which to work. We need more efficiencies by which we would work. So dahil po dito, gaya naman po ng lahat po ng naging hepe po ng kahit na ano pang opisina, you have to work with people you trust. You have to work with people who are very efficient. And we respect laws, we respect the tenures of our professional officials, but of course we need to do fine-tuning in our office para mas lalo tayong makatrabaho.
We understand your need for reforms and reshuffling because the record of NAPOLCOM, I mean, if you look, it's really much to be desired.
Thank you for being sweet about it. But let's just say na malayong-malayo pa sa ideal. Ang kailangan tayong magsimula sa admission malayo talaga. So before any reforms are made, you have to know where you are right now before you know where you wanna go.
Sige,
diba?
Anong assessment ninyo now, when you came in?
Matagal lang kaso. May 10, 12, 15, 18, 22, 25-year case. In fact, what I've done is to issue show cause orders. I think I've issued 3 and I've formally charged one of our lawyers.
In other words, hindi natatakot ang pulis sa NAPOLCOM?
Kung dati Hindi. Una, dapat naman hindi naman katakutan kasi ang NAPOLCOM katuwang ng pulis. Hindi tayo dapat nananakot ng pulis. We are the big brothers of the
Well,
PNP.
kung may gumawa ka ng masama, dapat matakot ka.
Ayun talaga. May shoot ka sa balde if you do something really bad. But what the real thing is for for the PNP officials who do good, they should be praised. The morale and welfare is paramount. In fact, I just signed 8 commendations for our policemen just before this interview. So nagpapapuri tayo ng ating mga police. But of course, in times wherein they forget to do their jobs and because some may have been abusive, dapat talaga tayo magpakita ng pangil at tayo mismo ang gagawa ng paraan para sila ay managot.
Okay. I couldn't help but notice Batman behind you.
I know, me also, kanina pa actually.
Can you tell us a little about,
Hello?
why it has a prominent place in your,
Hello? Naputol?
behind your desk?
Naputol.
Yes, naputol. Yes, naputol. But
sige.
we're back.
Ulitin
I
natin.
didn't hear. Okay, we couldn't help but notice Batman behind you.
Yeah, Batman is a representation. I think there was a line in Batman wherein he says, he shows fear to those who do injustice. So that's what we do here. So lahat po na gumagawa ng kalokohan, dapat po sila matakot sa ating panunungkulan.
Thank you so much for talking to us. NAPOLCOM Vice Chair and Executive Officer, Attorney Rafael Calinisan. Maging Batman sana po kayo.
Favorite superhero ka yan. But for now, we're gonna take a quick break. Coming up next, a challenge to Metro Manila's road safety as studies reveal that road crashes, several of which turned fatal, was on the rise the past years. Many of these accidents happened on EDSA, C5, and Commonwealth. We have more details when the big story returns. Stay tuned.
You're watching the big story here on One News. After this week's big-time fuel price hike, prices are expected to go down next week. Projections show the rollback will not be enough to cancel out this week's increase, which went as much as 5 pesos per liter. The estimated price adjustment for gasoline is from 1 peso to 1 peso and 40 centavos, diesel from 1 peso and 60 centavos to 2 pesos and 10 centavos per liter. For kerosene, it's about 2 pesos. Despite the projected rollback, the government says it continues to monitor world oil prices. It assures readiness to provide fuel subsidies to public utility vehicle drivers, farmers, and fisherfolk if prices rise anew.
Patuloy pong nagmo-monitor ang pamahalaan kung ano ba ang nangyayari sa issue sa Israel at Iran. Sa kasalukuyan po kasi ay kung di po tayo nagkakamali, umaabot lamang po sa 65 to 68 US dollars per barrel ang presyo ng crudo. World market. Global market price. So, hindi po agad ito matitrigger. Pero tandaan po natin kung anong po ang maitutulong sa kakayanan at naaayon sa batas natin at sa rules, hindi naman po ito ipagkakait ng pamahalaan.
Still on the transport front, officials are raising the alarm over a surge in deadly road crashes in Metro Manila. Many of these accidents happened at night. According to the MMDA, these tragedies could have been prevented. Mobile journalist Merimon Reyes has this report.
The number of road crashes in Metro Manila dropped significantly during the 2020 pandemic, based on data from the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA. But incidents gradually increased again starting in 2021 as mobility restrictions eased. By 2023, the number of road crashes in the National Capital Region surged to nearly 86,000 cases, with over 350 of them classified as fatal.
Nakaka-alarma na. Hindi namamatay sa sakit. Talagang cause of concern na siya. Na itong mga bagay na to pwedeng i-prevent eh.
According to the MMDA, most fatal crashes occur between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m.
Possible main factors is dahil madilim, inaantok,
Each loss are not just numbers on a report. They represent real people whose life is just as valuable as any other. Lives that we vow to protect.
In 2024, EDSA recorded the most number of road crash incidents in Metro Manila with nearly 9,000 cases, followed by C5 and Commonwealth Avenue.
This trend is really expected since this road also carry the largest volume in traffic in Metro Manila. This make them more prone to incident due to higher vehicle density and vehicle usage.
The MMDA emphasized the need to upgrade traffic infrastructure such as stoplights, road markings, and signage, as well as repair potholes to prevent further collisions. The agency is also considering proposals to lower the speed limit in urban areas to 30 kilometers per hour, a move previously supported by the Department of Health.
We will consult experts and then we have to consider din yung economic aspect. Diyan, pag nagbaba ka ng speed, yung turnaround time ng pampublikong transportasyon, like buses, jeepneys, TNVS, baka naman ma-restrict rin natin. So, we have to balance din po yung mga aspeto na yan.
The Land Transportation Office or LTO, for its part, plans to tighten its licensing procedures. Mobile journalist Marymon Reyes, we are One News.
In other news, the House Prosecution Panel urges the impeachment court to move forward with the trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. House panel spokesperson Odi Bukoy says Duterte's answer ad cautelam is riddled with falsehoods, misleading claims, and baseless procedural objections. Bukoy said they saw nothing in Duterte's reply to support her move to dismiss the impeachment case. The Vice President, Bukoy said, also failed to address the issues against her. Among them is the allegation that the Office of the Vice President tried to prevent the Commission on Audit from submitting to the lower chamber its report on the 125 million peso confidential fund. Duterte's response also failed to explain how this was spent. The prosecution team described the Vice President's legal tactics as a transparent attempt to delay or dismiss the proceedings rather than answer the charges.
Misconceptions, falsehoods, and general denial. What's a general denial? Hindi ho niya sinagot yung mga factual allegations Sinabi lang niya, hindi totoo yan. Ngayon ho, sa batas, ang general denial is considered an admission. Di ba sabi niya, gusto niya ng trial. She wants a bloodbath. Bubble bath Hindi bloodbath, bubble bath.
Meantime, the administration's economic team has set the 2026 national budget at 6.793 trillion pesos. That's a jump of 7.4% from this year's budget. According to the Department of Budget and Management, education, healthcare, and workforce upskilling could be receiving the biggest allotments. The economic team is set to submit the proposed budget to Congress no later than 30 days after President Bongbong Marcos' State of the Nation address on July 28. This early, House Speaker Martin Romualdez is proposing live streaming the bicameral sessions so that all Filipinos will have direct access to the final stages of deliberations. Recall that last year's budget hearings have been marred by accusations of blank entries and insertions. Meanwhile, as the public awaits the contents of this or next year's National Expenditure Program, an alleged leaked document is said to have made its way to the Senate, suggesting pork barrel insertions in the budget. The palace, though, dismissed the issue.
Wala pong nakakarating sa amin na ganyang balita. Ngayon ko, on my part, ngayon ko lang din po nadinig ang ganyang sinasabi niyong papel na nagsisirculate. Yes. Wala pong nakakarating sa atin. At hindi po ito nagiging issue sa palasyo. So, sorry, we deny that.
Over in Thailand, music was used to send a powerful message from a UN summit to the world. It was a call to action for millions of stateless children who still lack something as basic as a birth certificate. Our Jovi Francisco has this special report.
The birthday song was heard inside a meeting room of the United Nations Conference Center in Bangkok, Thailand. A room filled with youngsters whose presence in a global conference seemed peculiar. They are kids from all over the world who are here to show their support for policymakers, tasked to remedy problems that are being faced by persons without legal documentation. Some of the children present are stateless because their families were displaced because of conflicts. They were singing happy birthday to underscore the importance of having their date of birth registered.
For me po, nakakalungkot na wala po silang proper identification and they don't have the, especially birth certificate. Kasi during our dialogue with them, meron po mga stateless na mga bata. So some of them cannot avail the proper education and healthcare na guaranteed po as libre sa mga mamamayan.
This is one issue being addressed by the delegates of the Third Ministerial Conference on Civil Registration and Vital Statistics in Asia and the Pacific. And in a landmark decision, governments commit to ensure that all births are registered and all deaths are recorded by 2030. Presently, 1 in 6 children under 5 are without birth registration, and 1 in 3 deaths were not legally certified. And a lot of countries need to catch up to comply with the 2030 commitments so that by that time, every person in the world will have legal identity and ensured of services they deserve. The new deadline gives governments 5 years to fill the gap. The Philippines served as one of the vice chairs of the conference. Yusek Claire Dennis Mapa led the Philippine delegation, and he was assigned to read the landmark declaration during this afternoon session. He shared with us what the country is doing to beat the deadline.
Ang target kasi natin doon, 99.5% of individuals sa bansa, for example, sa atin sa Pilipinas, 99.5% of Filipinos dapat may birth registration. Medyo papunta na sana tayo doon kasi wala, nagkaroon tayo ng COVID. So medyo mayroon tayong slowdown sa mga targets.
Reporting from the United Nations Conference Center here in Bangkok, Thailand, Joby Francisco, we are One News.
We're taking another breather, but when the big story returns, we speak to drag queen Viñas Deluxe about safe spaces, advocacies, and other causes close to the heart of the Filipino LGBTQIA+ community. We celebrate Pride next. Keep it here on One News.
The Big Story is back with a new initiative to empower and protect the LGBTQIA+ community. A legal guidebook was launched during the British Embassy Pride event this week. The guidebook is a comprehensive resource designed to equip organizations and members of the community with legal knowledge to assert their rights. It covers laws like Safe Spaces Act and anti-discrimination ordinances. Redam Musawa, one of the key voices behind the initiative, says the guidebook is not just a legal tool, it's a lifeline.
Under this book, it will also educate us regarding the existing law in the Philippines that LGBTQIA+ organization can use to highlight, and at the same time, it will also teach them on who to call, where to go, and who to reach when certain situation arises and what to highlight. It's going to complement as well for them to be able to tell our authorities on the rights that was violated by different parties.
For her part, Vice President Sara Duterte also released a message in time for Pride Month. She acknowledged the ongoing struggles faced by the community and encouraged Filipinos to embrace diversity.
Pride reminds us that our shared humanity has the power to heal these wounds. It stands as a living proof that our diversity is not a weakness to overcome, but a wellspring of resilience and creativity. When we safeguard LGBT rights, we reinforce the foundations upon which all our freedoms rest. Let us build together a Philippines where diversity is recognized not as incidental, but essential to our national character.
And we're wrapping up Pride Month celebrations with a very special guest, from lip sync battles to sold-out shows. She's known for her campy looks and her even bigger talent and personality. We're so happy to have our guest tonight, a household name after joining Season 1 of Drag Race Philippines. Welcome to the Big Story, Drag Queen of the Year 2023 and Pambansang Bunganga. Talaga ba? Viñas Deluxe. Welcome to the show,
Thank
Viñas.
you po. Thank you sa pag-guest sa akin dito.
Sabi mo, sorry na lang at hindi ka masyado
Hindi ako masyado
nag-effort.
nakapag-prepare today.
Hindi.
Simpleng look lang, di ba?
Kasi yung Big Bang pala is tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow po sa UP.
So what will
QC
you be
Pride.
doing?
Tomorrow, I'll be performing with my co-queens tomorrow sa UP po. So, gumawa kami ng isang mahabang production number na magpapakita ng mga past queens to the new queens. So, direct po yan ni Precious Paula Nicole, our first winner sa Drag Race Philippines.
And this will be para sa mga gustong pumunta?
Yes po.
Saan sa UP exactly?
Sa Sunken
Sunken Garden. Wow, you're expecting a big crowd.
Yes, opo. Actually, last year, super dami din ang umattend sa QC Pride. So, yearly talaga, ang dami pong umattend. Parang, ang alam ko, 800, biggest po in Asia.
Wow.
Ang Pride March sa Philippines.
So, when did you start discovering that you were not what you were born as?
Simula bata po ako. Ramdam ko na I am different. Pero I don't know kung anong klaseng difference ba ito. Kasi
like how young?
I think since elementary, parang alam ko na bakit yung mga iba kong kaklase na lalaki, ang crush nila girls? Bakit ako hindi? Parang ganon. Tapos high school, syempre, nag-aral po ako sa Christian school and then parang tinuturo din na masama. Parang it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. And so parang, noong mga panahon na yun, tuwing napapatingin ako sa, parang na-enjoy ko maging feminine, parang lagi ko na-realize na mali maging ako, mali itong mga ginagawa ko until nahanap ko yung tribe ko nung nag-college na ako, na yung mga ibang bading din sa FEU po ako nag-college. I'm a Tamaraw. And ayun, sa Com Arts po ang aking course. Tapos
ang lakas ng Com Arts sa FEU.
Yes. So, sa theater, na-discover ko po yung performing, pero gusto ko pag nagpa-perform ako ay nakapang-babae ako. Kaya pinanganak po ang drag queen na si Viñas Deluxe.
So, ano ko yung name mo?
Oo nga.
Yung Viñas is my surname talaga.
Okay.
Viñas po siya. Tapos, sa isang subject ko sa marketing, parang kailangan namin mag-upscale ng isang product. So, nilagyan ko ng deluxe yung product na yun. So, upscale ko din yung sarili ko. Gawin natin Viñas Deluxe.
So, that's just your screen name, or have you tried to change na your birth certificate and all?
Screen name po. Screen name ko lang po siya.
Among your advocacies is HIV awareness,
Yes,
right? And ngayon, there's a crisis in the country dahil sa dami ng, it's rising actually, and really exponential. Are you worried about, the statistics?
Worried po ako dahil ang daming, tumataas po ang cases. Pero apart from that is happy din ako dahil madami na po ang nagpapatest, ibig sabihin nito. So yung pagtaas po ng cases ay hindi lang dahil dumami yung cases, kumbaga, pero dahil madami na ding mas aware, mas marami na ding nag-iingat, mas lumawak na po yung mga ginagawang pagtetest ng ating government sa ating mga kababayan. Kaya ngayon mas nagkakaroon na ng education, ng awareness nga yung mga tao about HIV.
So how do you advocate awareness? Anong ginagawa mo?
Nagvo-volunteer po ako sa Love Yourself PH. Simula pa po before pandemic pa kasi this is, parang ang dami ko pong friends na mga, hindi po sila aware on how to do safe sex. And parang simula college, parang nagpapa-event po ako dati sa FEU. Ini-invite ko po yung mga non-government organizations para mag-talk sa mga estudyante about how to practice safe sex.
The rise in cases is men to men, eh. Di ba? It's really...
And sa mga bata, di ba yung may
younger,
news tayo?
getting younger.
Super young.
Opo. Ayun, at least nagkakaroon na din po sila ng access to parang kung saan pwede makapagpa-test these days. And yung rise in numbers po is 10 years po siya na na difference, kaya naging 500% siya. Hindi naman po siya this past few months.
You're just
lang.
saying it's because of the lack of testing. That's why
Yes,
it
pa.
was not tracked.
Yes pa.
Well, Viñas, I wanted to ask about your journey as a drag queen because you really became a household name after joining season 1 of Drag Race Philippines.
Yes po.
And what I really love about drag, because it's an art, right? It's
Yes,
a self-expression, and it takes a village, and that village is actually just you.
I
diba?
can't stop staring at her
Yeah,
now.
correct.
Ganda ng makeup.
Thank you, thank you.
So when did you start drag, and what does that mean for you? What does drag mean for you?
Drag is actually healing for me. I think so. Yeah, kasi it gives me parang kapag nakapag-drag na ako and I'm on stage, parang lahat ng doubts, lahat ng fear, nawawala siya and nai-heal ako and nagiging courage siya. Tapos nakaka-entertain pa ako ng tao, nakaka-inspire pa ako ng tao by just being me on stage, di ba? And I think parang nilalabas niya yung real na ako. And because of drag, na ginagawa ko siya 10 years, yung confidence na nahiram ko sa kanya dati, nung nag-uumpisa pa lang ako, is na-apply ko na kahit out of drag ako.
Okay. Ako may
I'm so
serious,
happy
medyo,
about that.
medyo serious question ako, Viñas Deluxe. Gusto ko malaman sa iyong assessment, no? How far have we gone from as a country, as a culture, as a people, in terms of accepting, no, yung mga LGBTQIA? Do you think na nag-improve? Mas tanggap kayo, ganon. And also vis-a-vis other countries, I'm sure nakapag-travel ka, Bangkok Pride, I heard you were there. How would you say ang mga Pinoy, yung pakikitungo natin in general?
Malaki na po yung in-improve, syempre, especially yung nagkaroon ng Drag Race Philippines. No? Kaso tayo po ay tolerated pa lang din, hindi pa rin tayo talaga completely accepted ng community. Especially, wala pa rin tayong yung LGBT community ng mga rights na isinusulong, katulad po ng SOGI bill, na hindi lang naman sa LGBT, lahat naman ng tao ay may SOGI, which is, ibig sabihin yun yung sexual orientation mo, expression, and identity na kayo din po meron, like kayo ay straight or kung sino man dyan. And parang ito, protektahan tayo sa discrimination, especially sa work, yung mga ibang trans sisters natin na hindi pwede magpahaba ng buhok kahit they consider themselves as women, di sila pwede magpahabang work dahil ng hair dahil sa work nila. And yung mga hindi makabisita sa partner nila sa mga ospital dahil hindi sila kasal dahil sa ating mga batas sa Pilipinas. So, nakakalungkot siya and hindi naman tayo hihingi ng sobra-sobra pa sa basic human rights na hinihingi nitong SOGI bill. Kaya sana soon maibigay na sa atin ito. Kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng Pride yearly is because of dito sa mga bagay na nangyayaring ganito sa community.
Sabi sila, serious na tanong mo. Bigla nasira yung mood.
You have a long way to go still,
Yes,
no?
po.
I mean, even if we take Pride, the biggest in Asia, Pride Month, celebrations, and yet,
Madami
ang
pa.
tagal-tagal pa ng SOGI bill na
Parang ano kasi,
naka-pending.
parang yung government is, there's one thing, di ba, the government, but on the ground, di ba, parang iba naman yung, kumbaga yung government, close-minded, conservative, sabihin na natin gano'n, di ba? Ayaw nila ipasa talaga yung SOGI, ayaw nila ipasa yung mga divorce, ganyan. Pero on the other hand, pag lumalabas ka naman, okay naman, di ba? Parang may ganong irony ba?
Parang okay po siya dun sa mga taong hindi naman directly affected. Pero like for some people na kunwari, magjowa na parehong lalaki, ganyan. Tapos nag-adopt sila ng anak. Yung sa isa lang po naka-name yung anak. So kung na hospital po yung isa, hindi po pwedeng magbumisita yung isang partner dun sa anak nila kasi hindi sila immediate family. Madami pong ganong mga stories.
So kailangan talaga na parang pantay no? The government also has to step up. Are you guys doing anything to lobby for that? I know naman meron kayong mga staunch supporters, even in Congress, pero parang hindi talaga siya ma-push to the end. Pero what are you doing to keep on pushing for your rights?
Nag-iingay po talaga sa social media bilang meron kaming mga following and sumasama kami sa mga, katulad bukas, yung Pride po na gagawin na yun is hindi lang siya celebration, it's a protest po talaga. Kaya nagkaroon ng LGBT Pride simula noon dahil 80s, hindi po tanggap ang mga bading sa lipunan, nakukulong po yung mga drag queens, pero nakipaglaban po yung mga trans women sa US. Binato po nila yung isang pulis para kaya nagkaroon ng riot noon, and doon nag-umpisa ang LGBT Pride yearly at unti-unti nagkakaroon na po ng rights ang mga bakla.
So just to be clear, hindi lang siya party, ano? Parang it's actually a protest
yes,
action.
Paano ka naging bunganga queen?
Ito po kung ano-ano lang lumalabas sa bibig ko kasi.
Ganun ba?
Pero yeah, kasi nagpe-perform po ako ng mga nililip-sync ko po, mga kinakanta ko, puro about sa lips.
Yun ang skill mo kasi.
Yes po. Kaya naging pambansang bunganga. At ang maingay po kasi talaga ako, medyo nahihiya lang ako mag-ingay masyado dito. Pero yeah.
Sino ang pinaka-favorite mong i-lip-sync?
Ang favorite ko pong i-lip-sync, syempre, si Beyonce. Doon po ako naging bading yung mga kabataan ko. Pero iba't iba din po ang aking ini-impersonate. Especially sa Philippines, si Ate Reg. Favorite po nating lahat yan.
Regine Velasquez.
Regine
You
Velasquez.
also have a
you
bar?
have the kind of the
Medyo
mouth,
may hawig,
no?
no? Oo, yung
You
smile.
have amazing teeth, I must say.
Yeah, agree.
Your smile is very nice.
Thank you po.
But you have a drag bar also. So
Yes.
was that because you needed a safe space or
I've been to that bar.
Rampa.
Yes.
Rampa.
Yes.
Nung
So-
opening.
Yes po. So, kakalipat lang po ng rampa sa bigger
Wow.
space.
Congratulations.
Recently lang po, this year
Sa
lang
QC,
po.
di ba?
Sa QC pa rin po.
It's still the same.
Lumipat po kami ng
So where is it
space.
now? Tell
Sa
us.
QC pa rin po.
Sa QC.
Opo.
Saan eksakto?
Yung, ano ba yun? Dating, sa Tomas Morato po.
Okay,
Yes.
sige.
Opo.
Nasa Google naman.
Yes. Rampa Drag
Luma na
Club.
pala ang pinuntahan ko.
Hindi naman luma. 1 year kami dun. Dito po, mas bigger, better, para mas
To accommodate
mapanood
more
ng maayos,
people,
to accommodate more people, accommodate more queens, to have a safe space, and to perform better.
So, what's in store for you in the future? Ano pa mga balak ng isang Viñas Deluxe?
So, this July po, mag-release ako ng aking EP under Star Music. So, 5 songs po ito. And I'm so excited. Sana
Your
po
real
pakinggan.
voice na this time.
Real voice po.
Wow.
Yes po.
Laban sample?
Oo nga, pinag-PM.
Sige. Ano bang gusto niya? Yung Mrs. na lang. Mrs. po yung aking last na na-release sa kanila.
Sige.
Biglaan. Pero sige. Wag isiping di mo kakayanin. Girl, just go and get it. Girl, just go and get it. Mrs., itodo na. Pakita mo na. Waging-wagi ka, walang iba. Ganun po.
Ikaw ba isang misis?
Yun po ang tawag ko sa mga viewers ko, Mrs. Opo, sa YouTube. Ganyan, para
Very quick.
nakakaano lang,
Pero hindi ka pa misis.
Hindi pa po.
Looking
so available.
Hindi naman din looking. Pero
Meron
pwede.
na.
Wala po. Focus po muna sa career.
Speaking of career, anong oras bukas magsa-start yung programa ninyo sa Sunken Garden para at least hindi malate yung mga tao in case?
Usually po may tao na doon ng as early as 9 a.m. May mga pre-shows po.
okay.
As in buong
Really?
araw po siya. Pero like the march is around 4 p.m. usually.
Okay, so marami ng
Tuloy-tuloy
hanash
na
starting
po
9
yan.
a.m.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. That was drag queen Viñas Deluxe, and I'm wearing my Pride sneakers.
Yes!
Ay, ending na tayo.
Oo nga, and just like that, it's already 8:30, and that will do it for us here on The Big Story. Thank you so much for watching.
We are One News, all sides, all the time.
We're back here Monday at 7:30 p.m. Have a good night, everyone, and enjoy your weekend.